Hi, I'm Steve Morgan, founder of Cybersecurity Ventures and editor-in-chief at Cybercrime magazine. I'm here today with Bob Layton, Chief Revenue Officer with Digital Defense, an award-winning cybersecurity company and vulnerability and threat management solution provider headquartered in San Antonio, Texas. To learn more about Bob and Digital Defense, visit digitaldefense.com. Bob, welcome. Great to have you with us today.
Thanks, Steve. Good to see you again.
So, Bob, the last time you and I talked, Digital Defense had just announced a $1 million ransomware assessment program. You had given a lot back to the community. It helped a lot of people. Can you just revisit that quickly and give us an update on the program?
Absolutely. It was very well received, Steve. We extinguished all of the dollars that we had set aside for it, and we were able to help quite a few hospitals. And what was interesting was they ranged in size from being, large with satellite, the clinics and such, all the way down to small community and rural hospitals.
Great program. A lot of buzz in the industry. A lot of people contacted us about that. So we're all appreciative of what you did. So Digital Defense just announced a new managed services program, program for MSPs, a partner program. Bob, tell us about what you're launching. Sounds very exciting, and Digital Defense has been working with MSPs for years now. I know you already have a great track record. What's coming?
Yeah, so it's really a story of transformation, Steve. So, like you say, we've had a partner program for years, and it's been successful, and we have hundreds of partners that are in our partner program. But what we found was our partner program needed to evolve, and it needed to offer more value to those who are really pivoting strongly toward a recurring revenue business. And we see that the cybersecurity industry is really not only growing, but also the amount of services that are going to be delivered in the form of managed contracts, that's growing as well. So we wanted to pivot our program and add more value in it and just stay more relevant.
So I want to quote a figure here, Bob, and get feedback from you. A recent article in Forbes states that by 2026, 77% of cybersecurity spending is expected to be for externally managed security services. Now, that's an astronomical figure. Tell us about the growing trend of customers procuring security as a service from MSPs and the opportunity that your program represents.
Absolutely, Steve. So again, kind of following along that transformation line of thinking, customers don't just want someone to manage up-down status or manage an endpoint or switches and firewalls. They need something more. They need a richer experience, and they need experts. And so it makes sense that they look outside their own organization for that help. Trying to tool your own company for all of those different needs is an impossible task. So what we're finding is if you're a small MSP trying to grow, or if you're an MSSP or an MDR provider trying to broaden your reach into the market, there's something there for us to address with a partner program. And so that's why we've created this new stack of value.
It's almost like the perfect storm right now, Bob. We're expecting, by the end of next year, 3.5 million cybersecurity positions will be unfilled. And that's up from 1 million positions in 2014. We're tracking the market very carefully, and the COVID pandemic is not having much of an effect on that figure. In fact, in some pockets, we're seeing even more demand because they're looking for the more experienced people. So the industry has a big problem on its hands. Are you expecting that more CISOs and security leaders and even C-suite executives are going to be looking to solve the problem by engaging MSPs?
We do. And so if I were in a position of being a VAR, a very well-established national VAR that was trying to pivot toward recurring revenue, the way to grab your piece of the bucket or your piece of the pie of this cybersecurity market is not about vendor relationships selling products. It's about creating services that are actually real and valuable. So you cited really something important there, and that's the number of cybersecurity roles that will go unfilled. I don't think they'll ever be filled, Steve. I don't think that those professionals will actually find a job. I think what will happen is the managed services community, again, MSPs, MSSPs, MDRs, they will fill that void with managed services. It's the only way that the industry can scale.
I think you're the first person who's offered that observation, and it's probably the most accurate observation because we don't see any way those positions are going to be filled. We'll make a dent. We need more MSPs in this space. The industry desperately needs them. I hope for MSPs listening and VARs who see an opportunity to enter the market, they recognize that. So, red carpet that's rolled out for them. So let's talk about Digital Defense's Frontline.cloud. Very impressive platform, boasts a true multi-tenant architecture that streamlines administration of multiple customers to MSPs or for MSPs so that they can operate at scale. Can you break it down a little bit, Bob? Explain it in a way that someone running an MSP would understand.
Yeah, if you're a managed service provider, owner, or even on their security team right now, here's the message for you to understand. Digital Defense began life 20 years ago as an MSP, and we had explosive growth in the banking, the credit unions, and the insurance space. And those customers started to refer us into other industries. We realized the opportunity for transformation, just like today, and we shifted our strategy to becoming an ISV and then later becoming a SaaS provider. So we operate our SaaS inside of AWS's cloud. We're in the cloud marketplace of AWS, Azure, Google, and Oracle. And we now have a strategy where we can arm an MSP with those foundational layers of security that allow them to serve their customers and also build up really a comprehensive security program for the MSPs to price, package, and monetize.
So if I'm an MSP and I'm watching right now, I want to know, how did the billing cycles work? Is there self-provisioning? And talk to me about procurement. Is that directly or through the major cloud marketplaces?
Yeah, great question. So that was also part of our drive when we created this program, is it had to be relevant. It couldn't be a relaunch of something, oh, go buy it from distribution, oh, go here. It had to be empowering for the MSP. And so the ability to self-provision, you don't have to come back through us to actually provision your client. The ability to get into a billing cycle that matches up with not only how you're trying to monetize your client, but how you invoice them. So, cloud marketplaces have that down. I can go to cloud marketplace and add services and different things and put it onto my AWS bill, for instance, and it's coming to me in monthly recurring. Well, how does the MSP actually monetize that? That's still being sorted out. But as far as the relationship between DDI and our MSP, there's no way that we're going to convince someone to pay us tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars up front and then let them slowly, drip by drip, get their money back. It makes sense for us to match our terms with how they're delivering their services to the client. And I would tell you that takes financial strength. It takes a company that's been in the industry as long as we have. And it also takes an MSP to say, wait a minute, let me break the cycle. Why am I trying to buy point products from a distributor or direct, and then I'm trying to monetize them and turn them into a white label? It doesn't work, Steve. And so this is where we're coming to market with a fresh idea to finally solve this problem. And I guess it took a pandemic to do it.
So tell us about the geography, Bob. Is this a national program? Is it open, globally outside of the U.S.?
Great. It's a global program. We have a price book that appeals to all of the different geographies around the world. We have clients around the world. We have thousands of subscribers to our SaaS. And so what you'll see is many of our existing partners are morphing themselves. And so while they might have had a relationship with us in the past of referring business, being a VAR, doing onesie twosie type deals, now they're looking at building out an entire strategy to monetize security and go after their piece of this cybersecurity bucket.
Well, it was great to have you with us, Bob. Digital Defense is on a short list. We don't often recommend companies, but we've been tracking Digital Defense for so long. There's very few companies who have been around for as long as you have. Maybe, closing out, just tell us a little bit about, the background of DDI, if you can.
Yeah, so 20 years, right? So 20 years not of just sitting still, but 20 years of innovating. We have 2 patents that prop up our Frontline.cloud portfolio. And what I like to say, just being direct and straight, we deliver rapid monetization of our platform for partners. We deliver proof of value reporting that you can watermark and customize and build with your brand and prop up your brand promise to your client. And we deliver all this in human legible terms. So we're not trying to baffle people with a whole bunch of acronyms and IP addresses. We're trying to give them actionable intelligence, incorporating the dark web, incorporating threat hunting, incorporating all of these different feeds we have coming in. It's a very, very rich offering. And I would just say for any of the MSPs that are listening, take the Digital Defense Challenge, hold me accountable. Let me show you how to deliver proof of value reporting to your client. I've been there. I've been inside of managed services businesses, and I know what this takes to do it right.
So, Bob, exciting launch. I know that a lot of MSPs are going to be interested. If they find out about it from us first on this podcast, where do they go? Is it your homepage or is there a URL on the site?
Absolutely. Go to digitaldefense.com, find partners, and there in our partner portal, you'll be able to find everything you want to know about our program. They can also, from there, launch an inquiry. They can launch a trial. And again, take the Digital Defense Challenge and let us show you what you've been missing.
Great stuff, Bob. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
I'm Steve Morgan, founder of Cybersecurity Ventures and editor-in-chief at Cybercrime magazine. Joining us today was Bob Layton, Chief Revenue Officer with Digital Defense, an award-winning cybersecurity company and vulnerability and threat management solution provider headquartered in San Antonio, Texas. To learn more about Digital Defense, visit digitaldefense.com. You can watch our videos and listen to our podcast episodes at cybercrimemagazine.com.